Hello all. I want to talk to you about a little device that my luthier made for me a couple of years ago that has really helped me keep my instrument where I want it to be. Like, when humidity and temperature changes, our big instrument reacts quite a lot to that compared to smaller instruments, and thus parts of it might move, wood contracts and expands. The bridge, for one thing, might move. Also, when you put new strings on the bass, the angle of the bridge might move because of friction between the strings and the little slots in the bridge. So, this is very important, actually, the angle of the bridge, and that is what this device is for. So here it is, in all its splendor. It's a fantastic technical thing. It's very hard to It's a very simple, basic and easy device. And how it works is that you put the slot that is cut into the wood over your bridge. So the luthier should cut that so it fits the angle of the wood coming up towards the strings in the middle of the bridge. And you slide that down onto the bridge, and then you measure with the end of the stick where the slot is, this angled slot. It should fit where the fingerboard ends. It shouldn't be too snug. It should be so that it just slides down onto it and stays there. So what I find is every now and then when I check this, the bridge has moved 0.5 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters in either direction. And as we know, this influences a lot of stuff. It influences our intonation, not by a huge deal because we're talking millimeters of a string length here, but still it can influence that. But most of all, it influences string height. And of course, if it gets too out of hand, it can be quite damaging for the bridge to be under pressure if the angle is wrong. And it's like, we've all seen warped bridges and things that have been bent really out of shape. We want to avoid that. Once you slide it down, if it doesn't fit, if it's like this, that it ends up on top of the fingerboard, then obviously you need to move the top of the bridge backwards a little bit toward the tailpiece. You should also find a way to make sure that the bridge is in the correct spot, that the bridge's feet is in the correct spot. It should be, on most bases, that should be, middle of the bridge should align with the little dents in the F-holes on each side, but that might vary. Then once you have made sure the feet are in the right place, when you measure the top of the bridge, if it doesn't fit, you have to move it. And how do you do that? If the bridge has tilted forward, I like to loosen the strings, not completely, but quite a bit, so that I can easily adjust the bridge's angle. I tend to hold the strings and simply just push with my thumbs between the E and the A string and the G and the D string. And I'm very careful with this. You don't want to, I kind of hold on to the strings so that I don't accidentally push it way too far. So you want to be careful with this. Ask your luthier if he can show you how he sets up the bridge. So he can explain to you how you should do this yourself. Many people are afraid to tamper with their instruments like this. You can't really damage too much. If you use a lot of force and you don't loosen the strings and you knock the bridge over, of course you can damage stuff, but we have to be careful and move in small steps here. But the main thing to take away is this little device. It's so simple, it's genius. It makes sure the bridge is in the right place, that you don't get a warped bridge, and that the instrument's action and string length feels the same from day to day.